Good morning, class! Narito na naman tayo sa isang edisyon ng teleksyon. Masaya akong makasama kayo ngayong umaga. Nakapaghugas na ba kayo ng inyong mga kamay? Sana ay lagi tayong sumusunod sa mga protocols upang maiwasan ang paglaganap ng COVID-19. Sa lesson natin ngayon, napakahalaga ng kalinisan. Dahil tinatalakay natin ngayong fourth quarter ang food processing o ang pagpaproseso ng pagkain upang mapatagal ang buhay nito, kailangan nating panatilihin ang kalinisan. Sa lesson natin ngayon, pag-aralan natin ang proper washing and sanitizing of food, pagsunod sa safety precautions, pag-unawa ng manual specifications, calibrating measuring devices, at ang tamang paggamit ng equipment katulad ng pressure cooker. So tara na mga kateleksyon, umpisahan na natin ang ating lesson. Ito nga pala ang inyong guro, Ginang Arlene A. Valenzuela. Our lesson this morning is about used tools, equipment, instruments, utensils, following the standard procedures. This lesson has 4 parts. Let us start with letter A, cleaning and sanitizing equipment and instruments. The use of sanitizing agents leads to effective sanitation of tools, equipment, and utensils. Sanitation with the use of physical and chemical sanitizing agents will kill residual microorganisms that remain after cleaning. Cleaning by washing with soap and water is very important as it ensures the removal of dirt or debris by physical and or mechanical means. Chlorine is one of the cheapest and most easily available sanitizers in the market. It is popularly used in the treatment of water for both household and plant. Likewise, chlorine is also used to sanitize processing equipment. This table will show you how much water and chlorine you should combine to sanitize areas like hand dip, equipment, floor, and water for food processing for washing vegetables. But first, you should need to prepare the following. You need 5 gallons of water. So this is just a representation of how much is 5 gallons of water. You also need a measuring cup and, of course, a clock. For the hand dip, you need 5 gallons of water, 108 ml of chlorine, and after that, you will submerge your hands on this solution in 2 to 5 minutes. That is enough to kill the germs in your hands before starting processing your food. After properly washing your equipment used in food processing, like a meat grinder, sanitize it in 2 to 5 minutes using a solution of 5 gallons of water and 54 ml of chlorine. Next, we should always keep our floor clean and sanitized. For this, we will need 5 gallons of water plus 125 ml of chlorine. Mop your floor using this solution and let it stay for 20 minutes. This will kill most of the bacteria on the floor. This is more effective if you will spray this solution on the floor and let it stay for 20 minutes. Before using the vegetables you will use for food processing, you need to wash, then sanitize them. You will need to submerge your vegetables in 2 to 5 minutes in this solution. 5 gallons of water plus just a little amount of chlorine, and that is 27 ml. These sanitizing solutions can reduce or eliminate the growth of bacteria that may cause spoilage in food processing. Procedure in cleaning equipment and instruments. First, wash all the equipment and/or instrument with soap. Then, rinse with clean water. Lastly, allow air to dry. This means it is not advisable to wipe your dishes, equipment, or instruments after washing with cloth. It is best to just let it dry. This video showed you the proper washing of the tray used in food processing, from washing it with soap, rinsing it with water, then letting it dry. Next, let us have the procedure in sanitizing. First, prepare all the materials needed. Second, measure a certain amount of chlorine and water. Thirdly, mix and dip the equipment and or instruments in the mixture. Next, remove from the sanitizing solution. Lastly, dry thoroughly. After learning the proper washing and sanitizing of equipment and instruments used in food processing, let us have our second part, and that is letter B, calibrating measuring devices and instruments. Procedure in calibrating. For weighing scale, check the accuracy. See to it that the hand is pointed at 0 in an empty weighing scale. Next, salinometer. Check the accuracy by measuring 200 salinometer brine solution. Check if the salinometer records the reading correctly. Next, for refractometer. Place a drop of water, preferably distilled, in the dark circular or rectangular area and close the cover. A shadow of dark area is visible on the scale inside the eyepiece. Open the refractometer cover and dry the cover and the glass prism using soap, tissue paper, or a cotton cloth. Lastly, for thermometer. Check the accuracy by dripping it in hot food to see if the mercury rises to desired temperature. Class, this is the third part of our lesson. This is letter C, interpreting manufacturer's specifications. In our previous video lesson about the tools and equipment, utensils and instruments in food processing, I have already gave you some important info about manufacturer's specifications. To add to that, let us proceed with our discussion. Food processing equipment, when sold, are provided with a manual containing the manufacturer's specifications and necessary reminder to the processor in the form of a sticker. Warning label is attached to the equipment itself as an assurance that the equipment and or machine or tool is in excellent condition, for it has passed quality control in its construction. The specification usually gives a detailed description about the equipment, dimensions, materials, and other relevant information regarding the equipment or machine. The dimension gives the measurement of the size of an object in terms of length, width, or height of the equipment and or machine or tool. The capacity specifies the measurement of the amount which a device can hold or contain, as in broilers, cooker, or steamers, or a weighing scale. The manufacturer's specifications are usually contained in the manual, which accompanies the equipment. So, if you will use a food processor, all the information contained in the manual must be thoroughly understood. You have to understand all the information in this manual before using any equipment. Aside from knowing the correct operation of the equipment or machine, it is also important to know this information. Number 1. Basic safety precautions to follow when using the equipment. Number 2. Warning labels which specify how to properly operate an equipment. Number 3. Instructions on the proper care of the equipment and or machine. Number 4. Instructions on the correct operation of the equipment. Here are some examples of manufacturer's specifications, which must be properly interpreted, resulting to an accurate and safe operation and or manipulation of an equipment and or machine. This is the last part of our lesson. Letter D, operating specific equipment or machine.
How to operate pressure cooker. Number 1. Pour 2.5 cups of water. Place the rack, then place the packed jars in the cooker. Number 2. Place the cover of cooker. Then arrow on the cover should be aligned with the line mark at the body. Number 3. Tighten two opposite knobs evenly at the same time. Number 4. Turn on the stove and place the cooker on the burner. Place petcock in horizontal position. Wait until a steam comes out from the petcock for a total of 7 to 10 minutes, then close the petcock. Number 5. Wait until the pressure is reached. Count the processing time. Maintain the pressure. Number 6. If desired pressure is reached, count the processing time. Maintain the pressure until the end of prescribed processing time. Number 7. Turn off the stove. Wait until the pressure gauge registers to zero pressure. Number 8. Loosen two opposite knobs at the same time. Open the cover in slanting position away from the face. Number 9. Remove the glass jars one at a time from the cooker and close the jars. Cool the jars and cooker at room temperature.
Make sure to follow these steps so that you can use the pressure cooker safely. Let us now have our activity sheet for week 2, quarter 4 in food processing. Task number 2. Rearrange the jumbled letters to form the words related to our lesson. You are given 5 sets of jumbled letters. You are going to write the answer opposite the jumbled letters. For our next task, this time you are going to interview your parents, your siblings, or your relatives. You can ask their help. Ask them on the proper way of cleaning the different tools, equipment, machine, or implements in the table below. You are going to write at least 1 or 2 sentences on how to clean them properly. For number 1, we have pressure cooker. Number 2, we have refrigerator. Number 3, we have cutting tools like knives. Number 4, gas range or stoves. And number 5 is cooking utensils like ladles, casseroles, etc. Next, task number 8. Write true if the statement is correct. If false, write the words that made the statement wrong. Then, write the words that will make the statement correct. There are 2 examples given below, so you can answer these tasks correctly. Next task is completing this graphic organizer. This is about procedure in cleaning equipment and instrument. You will just write the 3 steps in cleaning equipment or instrument. This is also a graphic organizer. You will just write the 5 steps or procedure in sanitizing. Next, task number 9. You will just read and understand the statements carefully. Then, identify what is asked. Choose the letter of the correct answer and then write it on the space before the number. Last task for this week. Task number 10 is reflections. So again, write what you understood and write what you realized. This reflection is very, very important. So try to answer it wholeheartedly. That's all for now. I hope you learned a lot from our lesson. See you in another video.